Mike McGroarty here from freeplants.com. In this video I want to show you how I divide hosta. This is actually, it's a variegated hosta. It's the variety is Hosta marginata. I'm going to slip it out of the pot. By the way, that's a good way to get container grown plants out of the pot. Simply turn the pot over, put your fingers in there, and then shake it. A lot of people struggle with that. So basically, I'm going to shake this loose, providing I'm able to do that. And then hosta typically don't like to tear apart as easily as other perennials. So what I do is I take a knife and simply stick it in there and cut them apart. And that's pretty much what I'm going to end up with. I'm going to take the top off, trim the roots up a little bit, and that's my hosta division. Same thing with this one. There were 2 fans in there that I was able to get. Now you can plant that, but this top is going to die back anyway here really quick. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off now while I have the opportunity. And then cut the roots just like that. And that's what I'm going to plant out. And I'll put this in a bed in a pretty close, probably about 8 inches apart. And then next year we'll dig them up and divide them again so that we can keep reproducing this plant to get the numbers up to what we want here in the nursery. If you're doing this at home, that's going to determine how many of them you want. But we're reproducing them so that we can end up with plenty of plants to sell and plenty of plants that we can continue to reproduce. Again, I'm going to try and knock off as much soil as I can, but this root ball is pretty thick, so I'm going to take a stab at getting 3 divisions out of here. And again, I've really cut into that, but it's really not going to hurt anything. I'll cut the top off, trim the roots up a little bit, and there's my division. Again here, I'm going to get there's another division. I'm going to take the top off, give the roots a little bit of a trim, and there it again. And you can see where I cut it. But this is going to work just fine. This plant will produce more crown breaks, so there'll be more divisions. In a year I can dig this thing up and divide it again. And when you're really trying to get a lot of plants, you're better off to divide them more often so they don't get so congested. Now that one I ended up with almost nothing, but that's exactly how much it's going to cost for me to plant that out in the field. Chances are it's going to produce a really nice hosta within a year, 2 years top. So again, there's a lot of stuff here that just doesn't have to be thrown away. Here's another one, but I'm going to trim those roots just a little bit so when I plant them, they're not bunched up in the hole, and that way they're going to get more root development. But that division right there will work just fine. So that's how I divide hosta. I'm doing it for a production standpoint, so I make my divisions a lot smaller than most people ever would. I'm Mike McGroarty from freeplants.com.